Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, a little bit late. Food was late. I didn't want to cook anything. Ordered food and then the guy drove to the wrong address. Very nice. Alright. Well, let me set up my second monitor quickly. I forgot that. As usual. Split view, we put this on the second tab. Perfect. Yeah, not too sure what we will do today, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can do, but yeah, I'm not too certain what I want to do. Let's put it that way. So I think, oops, I want to. Oh, that's actually interesting. I want to delete that, probably delete that. Clean up a little bit this wire behind us. Memory, yeah, that one is a little bit sus. I guess we can delete that for now because we won't use it for the foreseeable future, and then we probably can clean up here a little bit, but I am not feeling that today. Oh yeah, that was one thing I wanted to try. Because in the render terrain, what we currently do is this include for it to work. And I think I've read that it should work if we do an import again. If I'm not mistaken. And then ND for terrain. I think it's public export. And here we need to do public extern. I think. And with that it should link it. It's very similar to how you link global functions across modules and stuff like that in C or C++. Well, C I'm not sure, but C++. Let's see. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Nah, perfect. Well, I think it doesn't work. If I would have to guess. Oh my god. And then it's fucked down there, yeah. Well, I guess I could have read in the log file. Or did I comment? Oh, wait. Or maybe it's not related. Oh, it is, I think, related. Oh no, I think I removed again the... Sample terrain is not accessible from the current... Do I need to do that then? Ah wait, this one is fine. We need this down here, public. Oh my god, I hate it so much. Why is that happening all the time, man? Why would you format it like that? That's like ugly as hell. Oh, is it because I have this one here? Yeah, okay, what's that? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I think I need to look at that a little bit more. The Clang format, not the nicest thing yet for slang. Not sure where it goes wrong. Will it work? Oh, it does work with the extern. Nice. Okay, that's good to know. We had an issue yesterday with texture sampling. Well, not really texture sampling, but with the height texture for the other type of terrain texture. I think we will leave it though for now. We don't really bother with that. I think I wanted to port a bunch of the shader generator, probably is a good next step. Because we need that. So I guess we do that. Best would probably be we go to one of them and then we go from top to bottom. Graphics private, Onyx graphics, shader graph, nodes. And then let's go to that one first. So that one is includes .mat.psrd noise 2D, like that. And then we do all of that, that's fine. That's a float too. Yeah. And then let's do int 32t and uint 32t. Hi Marmalade, hello. Oh, but that is not good enough, right? We need to do a bit better on this front here, I think. At least we can do a little bit better there. Only question is how would we make that nice? It's the other thing, because could be a uint 4, right? Or a uint 3. Do I bother with that now? Probably not, because it works for now. But actually, let's put a comment here to do add uint 2, uint 3, and uint 4 support. And here as well. That should be a little bit better. And we need to adjust a couple of things here, but that's for later. Let's fix the nodes first, because those are probably the simplest thing to do. Why did I... I don't know why I did that. Well, I guess it's not really implemented, maybe. I guess we would need to find out how to implement that nicer. Okay, then that. Oh, interesting. So we don't want actually an out color. It would be return that and then return that. Would be the idea. That will stay the same, I think. Yeah, that should all work. Probably under some very hopeful thinking. Wait, the normal shouldn't... Oh no, that's fine, right? Well, one of them should be a 0. Is it directions have a 0? So this one should be a 0. And this one is a 1. It's something like that. Okay. Hey, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Not sure how long we will do today, but we will do a little bit. Okay, that should be all fine. This one is a float 4. And then this one is not that. Probably we should expose what type of sampler we want to use. But for now, let's do it like that. That should be fine. And then here, float 3, float 4, float. What was it? Oh, it was just a float. Well, okay, then in that case it's fine. Oh yeah, because it's the individual pins. Okay. That should be fine. Okay, that one was easy. Why is that there? Nobody knows. That's an old file, let's delete that. I probably need to remove it from the... Well, if it's even here. Shader graph, node factory, shader graph. It was not even here anymore, okay. Nah, I don't know. Actually, I looked up then. how I would do it, and I'm not sure. I think Vulkan is not really supported, right? Bindless is not supported. Buffer device addresses are not supported, so I think we have to wait with Onyx in the web. I think we have to wait with that. Unless maybe there is a way, I don't know. I spent like 5 minutes. I don't think so, and I mean slang would be supported, right? I just can't use bindless and buffer device addresses, so I would need to support both ways. And I mean, technically the code is there to do the binding things again, but I would need to have like an if-def and then shader, right? Like the writing shaders gets a little bit more complicated because you always have to cover like both cases. I don't know. Not sure. I'm wondering if it is better. I'm wondering if I should do a Nah, I think it's probably better to be explicit and you have to give it here the exact path for the module. Pin are fine. This is a float 4. Float 4. Float 4. Yeah, he can. That's not the problem. It can, but it doesn't. Like web GPU does not seem to support bindless addresses, like for textures, and it doesn't support buffer device addresses. Both things my engine kinda needs at this point. I can get my engine still supports it because I didn't remove it. You can still bind buffers. You can still bind textures if you want to, but none of the standard shaders that I wrote for the engine support that. So I would need an if-def on the shader compiler to turn off bindless for textures and bindless for buffers. And then it would work on web GPU, yes. But as far as I read, it doesn't support it yet. I mean, the bindless stuff. Maybe that's wrong, I don't know. As I said, I spent like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes today while I was compiling something at work, looking at it while I was as well watching Cakes work on his stuff. So not sure. Yeah, I don't think so. To be honest, I thought like it would be nice to add it eventually if it's easy possible. But now that I saw it's not that simple for now until they add that other missing features, I think I don't care. It's not something I had planned. I just thought if it's easy to add, I might add it in the future, but as it's not easy, it's not a thing. This engine is not planned for that anyways. Again, it would have been nice if it would have worked, but it's not a priority by any means. And yeah, that is supported. I added that constructor again, but this is different. So this is a float 4 of, well, I have it here. This dot get value and gradient, and this is removed. That should work. Float 4. Float 3, sorry. Probably works. I'm not too sure to be honest, but I think it should work. We do the same for the other things. And I'm applying a little bit Clang formatting while I'm at it. Because even though it's generated code, I still would want it to look somewhat... I mean, you will not be able to read it that easily because the variable names are kind of scuffed, right? But nonetheless, it would be nice. And maybe I will add like more comments down the line so that it is readable. There are already a couple of comments in there sprinkled in, or there should be. But yeah, did we actually remove the .h? No, we didn't. Did we remove it here? Of course we didn't. Okay, here I did it. So we are kinda there. So this is float 4, float. So this one is done. Plain. Float 4. Float 3. I'm wondering, I think that's not quite the smartest thing how I'm currently doing those nodes. But yeah, let's keep it as that for now. Because I think this should be an input. I think, and actually it should probably not be chord word position, to be honest. That's another thing. Maybe we should address that as well. Because it's more like the voxel position in like local space. I think. I mean, it will kind of be most likely always very similar to... Well, I don't know. That's something we have to test, I guess. Yeah, I'm using clustered forward rendering as well. I mean, I didn't have any problems yet, but I didn't have a lot of light sources yet. So maybe I'm not the best one to give you any like feedback for that, but I'm happy with it. I am happy with it, but I'm not sure if that says anything. Did I have an include there? No, I didn't. Huh, okay. Screen space reflections. I think he even... I think I read that somewhere that for some effects you would still need somehow that deferred G-buffer stuff. But yeah, I think I remember a blog post about that, where it was like a little bit complaining as well about that. But then, I'm not sure. I've never done reflections myself, but I can only look a little bit at when I worked at Ubisoft. I'm not sure. I mean, they had still screen space reflections, but I think mostly they went away from that with like ray tracing. It's a little bit too early. But yeah, I thought a little bit about it. But as I said, I've never implemented it, so it's really hard for me to say. But I'm wondering if it doesn't, like, if you can't just use ray tracing for it and don't do a screen space reflection pass. But maybe that's too expensive, I don't know. So I think all of those nodes should now be ported. Probably. I guess we can try and see what happens if we output one. Why is my Neo tree like that? Jesus, stop it. But... oh, it is included somewhere. Where? Source dependencies? Is it not? Source definition, sorry. Shader? Wait, it is here. So yeah, I think on my well, let me actually give me a second. Copy copy link. There it is. Helium AK elements, this one. So I think what I wanted to do is, yeah, here. So we are currently at 06, right? A little bit stuck. Yeah, January 25th was the last release. This version was again a little bit longer, similar to like this one. Every time I work on the terrain it takes longer. Well, actually this version is again, it blew. This is actually not accurate for what we did. There's way more done. Clang format, slang. Clang format took a long time as well. And other smaller improvements here and there. But yeah, here I thought of looking at reflections and, well, maybe not reflections, but shadows and lighting improvements. And potentially how I would want to do reflections in the future. What did I actually wanted to test? Not that. Why did I enter there? I mean, I could have went back, but it's fine. So let's open. I should have. Yeah, I have a test volume graph. Which one do I want to use? I mean, I guess we can use the simple one for now. Yeah, that's just a sphere, right? And if I save that out, What does it produce? Test volume graph. Is it test volume.h then? Yeah. Okay, so that is a float 4. That looks almost good. I guess we can test it even if we just rename that to slang. And then the only thing we would need to change is float 3 here. Where? No, float 4 and float 3, right? And then change this function here, but that's fine, we can do that. And then the volume sources include, but that's in the generator. Okay, that should be doable. So let's go volume shader generator dot. Let's go CPP, I guess. Oh, actually, I wanted to do 2 things. So we go to shader generator. What just happened? I don't know if you heard it on stream, but the music was gone. Maybe it was just my headset. Add include. So what I want to do is change that. And we add an where actually we rename that to add import. And then we add still an add include if we want that. Yeah, okay, that was my headset has some issues sometimes. I don't know. Shader imports. Okay. And then we go here, basically copy that, paste that here. Oops. Okay. And then wherever we use that, generate imports. And then a semicolon at the end, and not that. Okay. We do first imports and then we do exports. Yeah. I mean, maybe we do a lambda function for that. Nah, it's fine. It's fine like that. I was like, you are kind of duplicating a little bit code here. But in reality, it doesn't really matter. Okay, we need to fix all of that crap, of course. But let's go to the volume shader generator first. Volume shader generator. Go there. I think volume sources dot that, or actually without that. Is that fine? Is it not that? Onyx? Alright, sorry, data. Shaders. Includes. Volume. Ah, it's volume source, or yeah, it's like that. I think. Yeah, I think at least. Is it? Well, why do I need that? Hold on, why do I need volume source here? Do I need volume source here? I don't think so. Why did I include that? Hey, penguin operator. Quick. Why? Was it because it was all in one file? Is that what it was? Now? Where is... I think I deleted it today. Or did I delete it earlier? Volume source .lang. I did it. Did I delete it already before? But it's not volume sources. Oh, it's there. I think because of the buffers, probably. Or something. Actually, actually, I'm not sure why I included it. I think we will probably kill that. So I think we can get rid of that. I'm not sure. So it would just be this. And then we can get rid of that. And just shade. See, that's the problem here a little bit. I'm not happy with how the shader generator works currently. Is it private or public? No, it's actually public. Where? This is private, never mind. Maybe. Maybe what we do is we change that a little bit. Let's do virtual void generate shader, and we give it the shader, or like generate shader stage, and we give it the stage, and by default that is empty implemented, I guess. Or do now maybe we provide an empty one. No, maybe it's empty. Maybe it's empty. Maybe that makes sense. And then I think I would want to get rid of this. I'm not sure where we use that. And PBR generator. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. Let's say generate shader stage. Like that. Well, actually, let's do a default implementation. Okay, and then basically this too would work into that, where it will go into that. Let's do that. So let's Yeah, let's not do that, but instead do a for. Let's do you in 32T. Set the cast, I guess. Actually, I might be able to do enums to integral here. It's fine, I think. And then let's do generate shader stage. Is that not? Yeah, okay. And then enums to enum. Okay. Underlying type of shader stage, thank you. Alright. That should work. Let's as well be sure that we do it correct, so let's take that. Just so that it doesn't do it all the time, I guess. Even though that should be smart enough from the compiler, but you never know. And then if I... Or let's actually convert that to a shader stage here. Const. Or stage equals. Oh wait, it doesn't work like that, right? Because it's a binary value. Fuck. Oh wait, 16. No, then it's fine, I think, actually. Then we just do it slightly different. So it's one shifted by that. And then all is good again. What the hell? Wait, did I? Oh, okay. That's all the ones? Nah, I have it somewhere. Yeah, I will get the compiler, I guess. Why not? So then I think I can do that. Yeah. And then we do stage here. And then stage is not allowed to be invalid, and stage is not allowed to be count, I guess. Well, count it might be. It's not allowed to be all, I guess, although that's very unlikely that we hit. Do I want to do it like that? Hold on, maybe I don't want to do it like that. Let's do it for now like that. I don't know. I would need to think about it. I quickly thought maybe I want to instead have the shader generator define the stages it wants. And then we iterate over those instead of iterate over all of them. But yeah, whatever. Max shader stages. Why is that here? Well, I mean, in theory that would be 16. But I'm not quite sure why that is even here. And I think we would want to change that. But I will do that all slowly. Why is common includes here? Huh? Why do I have that here? Why do I not do this? What the hell am I doing there? Where did I use that? Okay, well, let's not do that. Oh, but I need the stage code, never mind. Okay, but we get rid of that. Jesus. My headset is killing me. And then, no, not here, where this one... Oh, okay, I put it here, that's of course bad. So that would go here. Ah, I can... Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, we do it like that, we do it like that. Because the good part about slang is that it will optimize that anyways away what we don't need. So that's the good part about it. So we start with those. And then we do one empty line. We don't do that. We just put in our code. But we don't know how many we have. Where that is. Yeah, let's do that then. And then we do the shader stages here as well as one, so we merge them together. But okay, yeah, then I don't like any of that actually. Let me think a little bit more then about that. Maybe we do it slightly different then. Maybe we have a struct here. Now we have here the shader stage, and we have here the string. And I think then what we do is dynamic array that. Then we don't need to do any of that crap. We just say stage. And vertex input, vertex outputs. Maybe it's very specific. Maybe we do it a little bit more generic, but I'm not sure, should I do that now? That's the bigger question. Because what we could do is have stage inputs, outputs here. Something like that. And then this would go away. And then the push constant would kinda go in there as well, potentially, but I think we will just do a global push constant. I think we will just do this. And push constants. And that simplifies the shader generator a little bit, and we can still add it in the future if we want to. And then what we do is probably add a protected area here. Or like I guess we do this then. Well, we do a private here then. Yeah, let's do that private. Well, actually we have that already here. Stage ref. Guess we do that. Not sure if we would still support that. I don't know. Let's see. Might do it slightly different. Let's put that up here into a protected section. Yeah, I'm not sure if I will stick with that, but go with me for now and let's see where we end up. And then here, I guess, let's put it all the way at the end for now. Oh yeah, we removed that code away. Stage reference, where it should be shader generator. Get stage, or as well again, shader generator. Oops. And then we do an std or an auto it std ranges find if shader stage code. Data, I don't know. It's really a little bit questionable what I would want to call that. And then if our iterator is the end, oops, why do I keep fat fingering that? And we do a return shader stage codes and place back with the stage. Otherwise we return our iterator. That should do it. Because then what we can do is... that would be the actual code around it. Which was here, for example. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we keep that. And then we go through all our generated shader codes. Stage. And then we merge them in, right? Shader stages. Or like, is there a join? I think there is, right? C++ ranges join? I think there is, right? Oh, but it's not what I wanted. And I don't think there is a string joiner. I mean, I know how to do it, but in like plain code, but I thought maybe there is a nicer feature by now. But I guess not. I guess we just do plus equal stages dot code. Actually, I think that should be fine. And then this would be code. Oh, actually, shader stages code. Something like that, probably. No, there is unfortunately not. I don't know how to do that, to be honest. Not that professional. And unfortunately it's not available. It's like a thing that I paid for from a Humble bundle. But I mean, maybe you find it on the YouTubes. It's a Fat Frog Studio, and then I think, yeah, it's the Eternal Growth playlist. Let me actually find it. What did I just do? Well, whatever. What was it called? Let me copy it. Well, that's not what I wanted, but great. Let's try again. Good. Okay, there is... Yeah. Oh, wrong screen, sorry. It would be this here. I'm not sure if there is a full playlist, but I would assume maybe. But yeah, it's from this Fat Frog Studios. Oh, yeah. Not sure if there is a playlist, but I assume there would be. Oh yeah, there is. So yeah. Maybe they're... Yeah, not sure if it actually has the same playlist, but it has some songs there. Okay, that's where this is the general playlist, but yeah, had to pay for it, otherwise I always got like muted things in YouTube and in Twitch. That was kind of annoying. And then the Humble bundle at like last Christmas or something like that had like a bunch of those, like from this studio, a bunch of playlists, and paid like, I don't know, 10 euros, 20 euros, something like that, I can't remember. And got like, I think 1,000 songs or something like that. It was crazy. Crazy deal. Okay, I think that should be what I want. I'm not sure. I don't think I need that. I might need that. But I'm not sure, to be honest. I probably need that. Although I think it will be different actually. I think it would just be includes lighting. Probably. And then yeah, this one would be slightly different. So I guess we remove the shader stage here. And for now, the push constants would be global again, similar to what it is in the current version. And then this would be m push constants. And has push constant needs to change as well. That would just be that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we still need that. That's fine. We will adjust that. Why would I do that? Push constants. Like that, and then this would be stage. And then with that we just append the code here. So it would be stage.code append. Prototype got just a fine feedback, so dropped it. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, they have like a like I think I got combat sounds and stuff like that as well. Yeah, there's a bunch of things there. So there's a good chance that there is something there. Generate push constants. Let's not do that. Push constants empty. I guess if it's empty, we just skip, right? So if push constants is empty or our textures, well, and our textures is empty, then we just don't need to do anything. Otherwise we need to construct it, and this is struct push constants. And let's do clang format again. And then we go through our push constants. Do that. We don't allow an offset, I would say. Not sure if we need it, but for now let's not do it. And just do that. Oh. That's just that code. Yeah. Kinda. And then let's frig that with the fragment thing. And do textures if we are not empty. Then we create a texture array here with texture indices. Which, yeah, I don't know if we will keep it like that, but that's what it is for now. And then this one is our fragment shader. Oh, actually, probably we keep that. Although, why do we even have that here? I think maybe that should be empty. Because what did that do? No, I mean, yeah, no, I think I will leave it empty. I think I will leave it empty. Let's do that instead. And then we have the generate fragment shader and generate vertex shader in the PBR shader, because that makes a little bit more sense. Generate push constants, go away please, thank you. Yeah, we need to fix all of that and then generate fragment shader. Private. Generate fragment stage. Okay. And that should do it, more or less. Here what we do is, before we do that, we set m current stage to the stage. And then we do that basically. That might actually work. That will change actually kinda quite a lot, but we will deal with that later. Oh yeah, we kinda need to change that then. Void add input, and we want a string view name and a shader data type, and then add output, I guess. Why not? And then this would be add input. And that would be Although, do we do it like that? Maybe that's not the smartest thing to do. Let me think. Because yeah, I mean, like, it kind of works, but is it really the smartest thing to do is the question. Because then we iterate over it and then we build the struct. Does that make any sense? I mean, I guess if we have other inputs, right? Maybe. But that would be kind of duplicating the work a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that. But how else would I do that? Because I mean, that one is very specific. Or this one is unneeded because we actually added to the correct stage already. at that point. But I'm just wondering where this one would be append code, vertex shader code, basically. But that's the end of the thing, right? So, This one is as well. Let me think, how was that supposed to work? How was that supposed to work is the better question. So the idea was that I have a PBR out node, and that one generates this material, right? If I'm not PBR material, is it fragment shader? Fragment shader out node. I think I have the PBR and out node here, yeah, unfortunately, but I guess we can split that sooner than later. Actually, sooner. And then this builds, yeah, exactly. This builds PBR material, and this has pins that you can attach textures to. And this expects kind of this here. So what if I mean, this was very specific anyway, so probably not right in the shader generator to begin with. We probably do something here. How about we kinda go back a little bit in the sense of that we have a generate vertex up there in the shader generator. So yeah, here generator, and then shader generator, and then instead of doing this, we just take our vertex inputs, well, our stage inputs, if the vertex stage, no, at this point it has to exist. If we get that core, we have to exist, and then here vertex stage inputs, and we build a struct. We make an open bracket here. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, if we have inputs, so vertex stage inputs is not empty. then we do stuff here. And we basically vertex shader code. I guess we can append, right? Where? No, we actually built the final thing, so we don't append. Never mind. We do this. And then at the end we close it. And then we do this in between. And we do I think just this, right? And we don't do a location because we don't need that. Just to type and name. And we potentially no, actually not that I can no. So far everything is fine. The only downside I have currently is because I'm linking against the pre-compiled versions. I have exceptions when the shader has issues, which I think I want to get rid of. So eventually I will probably build slang from source myself. But besides that, everything else is kind of working. I don't know if you saw the last stage that we were in. I have to start like that because otherwise it doesn't run currently because I am in the middle of code changes. But yeah, this is what we have, and we have terrain again working as well. Not sure if you were here yesterday. So yeah. We have terrain again and stuff like that. With like bump, it's not really bump mapping, right? It's height displacement. And it's basically infinite, or I mean that was the far plane. And the texture is shit, so it's really hard to see. But yeah. Yeah, there's no mip mapping. There is no mip mapping. Did not get around that yet. I mean, it's not a big thing to add, but never really bothered about it yet. We didn't really have a lot of stuff to see on the screen with textures yet, normally. So, yeah. Alright, so that would be... Well, I mean, height map terrain is very easy. This one was a little bit more complicated, but again, it's not the end of the world. Is it not stage? Oh, it's... why is it not just called stage? I guess. Outputs. Then we do VS output. Let's actually call it that. I think I like it nicer like that. So yeah, I would say vertex height map terrain is very easy, but the terrain that I have is like a volumetric terrain, so it's a little more complicated. But then again, I'm ray marching, so actually it's kinda easy currently as well. Well, debatable, but yeah. The previous version we had was generating a mesh with like actual compute shaders and more sophisticated algorithm than marching cubes. That one was a little bit more painful. And I will probably actually save off the code for that. I shouldn't delete it. Even though it's like in Git technically there. I think I want to still save it. Because that was actually quite a lot of work to get it up and running. It's actually a good reminder. I should definitely save that in like a branch. And that's my output types. That's good. That one needs a semicolon here. That one needs as well. Done here. \n. Okay. And then we don't need that. And what we then need is another line here. Oops. That shader. \n. Closing. Get rid of that. And then we do a void vertex main, I guess. Doesn't really matter. vs input. And I guess the rest is up to us. So basically this is gone. And that would be stage.code. And then not that. Well, what does it do? Body. Ah, this one was the body. Yeah, no, I don't think so. So that would be a string output here probably, or do we do an append? That is the question that I'm not quite sure. Maybe we do maybe we do an output here. Yeah, probably. Then let's add just on top of that, right? Oh. What have I done there? Source code. I think that should do it. Let's move that down here for now. Or actually down here. Yeah, something like that. As position, that is UV. I'm not sure why it's X here, I don't know, that's probably a typo. Ah, no, because I split it. Oh, why did I do that? Did it need to be aligned or something like that? Was that the issue? Why would I need to have it aligned? I think that should be fine to do it like that. I guess we do word position where normal is fine. I mean, that is kind of scuffed, but yeah. Something along those lines would be that, and I think... I need it like that, right? Something like that. Shader data type. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to have like a semantic then here as well, so that it gets generated correctly. And we need to, yeah, change that. That's a float 4. Then we need to do mul of constants, view constants, that. Constants, view constants, that. Times that, because for that we have an overload. I'm not sure why it generated like that, but okay. Clang, being clang, I guess. Okay, and then this would be input. That is that. We need to adjust that, of course. Float 3. Float 3. I think I did that slightly different. Oh, float. Wait, isn't that float 4? Not quite sure. And then calculate PBR lighting, which I think is called different. And then I don't remember the exact parameters that we need, but that we will figure out later. I'm pretty sure I don't need that. Generate vertex shader. Ah. Stage. And then we have this. EBR shader generator. But yeah, I think I will call it a day soon. We will not get that up and running today, but that was kind of clear that we don't get that ported today. Let's do an if statement, otherwise it complains. Shader stage vertex. Generate vertex stage. As if stage is our shader stage. Fragment. Generate fragment stage. Perfect. Body. Yeah. Kinda works. Yeah. I think with that I would mostly call it a day. I think that should work. I think I still need to have a semantic here probably. Like shader semantic position. So that it generates the correct thing, because I think I need that, right? Imgui, that's slang. Well, actually, oh no, I do for the output, but not for the... Oh yeah, but for the output I need it. So I would need it here, semantic position. And probably semantic depth and stuff like that. And I'm not sure what else we might need. Probably color, potentially, for the fragment stage. So yeah, need to look at that, but we will keep it simple for now. But I think that one we definitely need, otherwise I can't really generate it. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's mostly it from my side. I have a little bit of a headache, and actually I didn't actually plan to stream that long today. I mean, it's not that long, but yeah, I plan to have it a little bit shorter today. But I kinda lost the time being here in this part of the code. I mean, I ported all the nodes, I think. It's not a shader generator. That's like a little, like, need a little bit of love because it was kinda rushed. And while I'm at it, might as well do it proper, or like a little bit better than before. So it's a little bit more future proof. I mean, we probably will end up rewriting it again when we add a new shader type. Probably for like a GPU particle system. We most likely have to redo parts again, but let's see, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, that's fine. Actually, now with slang and the multiple entry points, maybe we don't need to change that much, because maybe we can do it in like one shader generator and have like the GPU particles in like one thing, but not sure. I will think about that a little bit today, maybe off stream tomorrow when I'm not that busy at work again because of compiling or whatnot. Yeah, thank you to you too. What's up? And everyone else that joined. Yeah, not a lot of progress today, a little bit. Yeah, I started today. Well, today I was mostly playing the new game. There's already some playable stuff there. Getting a feel for it, although the stuff that I have to do is not really... I mean, it is for the game, but I don't need to really play the game for the things that I need to do. Because I'm more on the back end now, or like on the engine part, let's put it that way. So it's not that relevant that I play the game, but it's still nice. And it was a change of pace, playing the game for once in a while. Especially it's not a game that I would usually play. It's like more, it's not a mobile game, but it's close to it, I would say. But it's on Steam. Anyways, yeah. But it is my first professional project in Unreal, so let's see how that goes. At least I've learned a little bit about Unreal, I guess. I mean, I've used Unreal in like personal stuff, but never as an actual project at work. Always had the pleasure of working with proprietary engines. Yeah, enough yapping, I guess. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your evening. Thank you for joining. It's probably quite late for you, WhatsApp. Take care. And yeah, let's see what Cake's up to tomorrow if he rage quit streaming, because it seemed like he was really down at the end. But yeah, I will definitely watch him at work again. Anyways, have a great night. Bye bye. Take care.